All right, it's fine.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good
Okay,
evening.
for last class, if I could remember vividly, we were taught we made revision on conditional formatting, and for conditional formatting allows, sir. Hello.
You didn't say anything. Continue.
Okay. I said okay.
Yeah.
Conditional formatting, it allows us to apply some specific formatting to a cell based on their value or some other criteria. And then we moved to some functions in Excel. And he said, a function is a predefined calculation in Excel that allows us to perform some complex calculations such as sum, average, VLOOKUP, and others like that. Then we were able to also make use of the sum products, which will enable us to make to get the total revenue of a data set using the quantity column and the sales value column to get the total revenue generated. Then also go about cell referencing. Like, cell referencing is the ability to reference a cell that is being copied from a cell to another cell, either using the relative referencing or absolute reference or the mixed reference. Then under the relative reference is the process whereby a cell with a formula is copied from the cell to another cell, and the formula being copied to another cell reference the formula relative to the other cell. Like, if I want to explain it to the way that people will understand, like when you copy a formula from a cell and you copy it to another cell, it is going to reference the formula relative to the cell copied to. Then for the absolute reference, when a formula is copied from a cell to another cell, it is going to fix the formula is going to remain fixed without being relative to the cell copied to. Then the mixed reference is the combination of the relative reference and the absolute reference. That is, either the column or the row is fixed, and the other one and the if the column is fixed, the row will be relative. And we talk about uh, I think that's all I can say for now, sir.
All right. Okay. Um, you don't try. Well, you tried most of you. You gave us a summary of majority of what we covered on Sunday, right? So I see two hands up. I see. Okay, now one. Adedayo, do you have something to add? A question before we kick off into what we have for today?
Thank you very much. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, just like she said, I just want to add maybe one or two things to what she has said in the types of referencing. We have three types of referencing: the absolute, the relative, and the mixed. Now, when we talk about the absolute referencing, it's as good as saying that we are locking that cell. So when we are replacing it somewhere else, it doesn't change. It's something that is constant. When we want something to be constant, we just lock it with a dollar sign. So that dollar sign, by the time we insert the dollar sign in that cell, it makes it locked such that when it is copied somewhere else into another cell, it doesn't change for a figure or for something that we want to be constant, that is not going to change irrespective of the number of cells that we want to replicate there. And the mixed referencing has to do with the combination of both relative reference and then absolute reference. Then we also looked at several formulas and functions, and we looked at the date formula too, and that date would help us to split, like say we have today being September 12th, and then we want to split it into the day, the month, and the year. The date function will help us to split particularly, and then we looked at the text column too. That would help us to change specifically to a text. Say we have, maybe after splitting to say 1209, we've split it into the day, month, and year. We looked at today as 12th, and then we want to convert it to say, okay, what particular day of the week is it? That text column will actually help us to get the exact day it is. Or maybe we've split it into 1209 and 9 representing September. Okay, what does that 9 represent? It will also help us to say, okay, the 9 in what we have is actually September. So that is going to convert what we have into text. That's just a few additions I have to what she has said. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. If there's enough time, and before we round up this program, we might end up doing something like this. I'm not promising, but if there's enough time, we might end up doing something like this on your your screen. Um, this Adedayo, is it new? Is okay. Um, yeah, Beatrice.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening,
Yeah, good
everybody.
evening. Yeah, good evening.
Please, sir, I want to solicit for something. Don't say if there's enough time. Let's create time for it, please, sir. Let's create time for it. If we are going to fast forward some of the classes so that we can actually do something like this, it will go a long way for us. And secondly, please, I dropped something in the group. I don't think you saw it, where I was soliciting that you should please help us to build our tech portfolio alongside as we are learning. I don't know if it is it possible for you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think I saw that message. Okay. Regarding this, right? I don't know. Let's see how it goes. We might end up maybe fixing maybe one or two impromptu class to accommodate this, because this on my end I can get this done in like say 2 hours max, right? From here, from the data down to the analysis, down to the analysis, down to the this reports, right? I can get it done max 2 hours. But to teach you guys that some of you have not, some of you have not used this before, right? Some of you have not used this before. It might become a problem. So it might end up spanning maybe 4 or 5 hours. All right. So that's why you can see it's very interactive, right? Entirely.
Sorry, I can't see your screen. Oh,
Uh,
okay, I can now. Sorry.
yeah. So you can see, right? I'll try. I'll try. Very interactive. I can decide to choose maybe just Austria, right? You can see, you know,
Why did you put it here?
please mute your mic, right? Very interactive. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. Even if it's not, might not be
Put it
this,
back in the middle. There is no light.
but we'll try and do something, right? We'll try and do something.
Just change over. Let me on the gen.
So now, let's go into what we have for today.
I don't know why there is no light on the place. I changed it from the old one. No, okay. Change over. Let's see. Yeah.
Sample data. Yes. No, no, no. Sorry. Too many files open. Around the. I'm coming. Yeah, I've muted everyone. Sample data. Where are you? Yes, there you are. So we worked with. Where did we stop in the dates the other day? Where did we stop in the dates? Class. I know we started date. We stopped somewhere. Yes, it's fine.
Text to column.
So among
Using the text to column.
okay, so
Text to column.
we got all of these functions here, right? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about so what does the day function we used it to extract the days, the year to extract the year, the month to extract the month from the dates. All right. So now we'll have the weekday and we'll have the week number. Right? Okay. We'll have the weekday, we'll have the week number. So this is what the weekday does. So for example, remember if we did this, let me just quickly write out the function. The day, if I call this, right? If I call this, let me quickly delete this two so that they can be together. So this is the day. This is going to be the year. I hope you guys understand up until this point. Then the month. Now we're able to do this, right? And I also used this equal to text, equal to text, comma. Then if we were to get the year, we'll just go yeah. Close it. We'll press enter. You can extract the year. Want to extract the month, you just change this to MMMM. Right? We've gotten the month. We want to get the day. We've gotten the day. Right? Is that understood? I also did this the other day. Are we together? You guys should try reacting. Let me see
Yes.
if I can catch it.
Yes, we are together.
So please, everybody should give a thumbs up emoji, not in the text, but the reaction. Let me see something. If I can see it on my end. Are you guys reacting?
Yes, sir. We are doing that, sir.
We are reacting.
Why is it not
Yeah,
showing
doing
on
that.
You're not seeing it.
I can't see it.
Oh, we are seeing
Can't
it.
see it. Can you guys see mine?
Yes.
We can see yours.
Yes, your own is saying.
We can see yours. Yes. Sir.
Is it because I'm not the okay? I can't see it, yeah. All right. So this is how this works, basically. That text there. So let's just use it to get the month equal to month, right? Not month. I'll go text. I'll pass in the dates, comma. All right. Let's drag it down. Now, what does the weekday do? The weekday is used to return the weekday index of the week. What do I mean by that? Monday, what number signifies Monday? What number signifies Tuesday? What number signifies Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Right? So traditionally, Monday is which day of the week? Traditionally here in Nigeria.
Second.
First,
Second.
second,
Second,
At the same Nigeria, what would they?
the
Because me,
first day.
First, the first day.
Monday is the first.
The
Monday
first
is
day
the
of the week.
second.
Monday is the first day of the week.
so what do we use? Are we using? Hold on. So
Second day.
so now it seems we are living in different parts of Nigeria. So I don't know why half of you is going with the first, half of you is going with the second. Me, I know Monday as the first day of the week. Now,
do you
day
working
of the
week
week.
or
Now,
Sunday is actually okay. That's what she said.
now, what if we want to extract the number, right? What if we want to extract the number? So instead of, we know this is the first, right? This is the first. Me personally, what I would have done here, I can do this. I will come here. Don't worry, forget about what I'm doing here. This is what we want to learn today. I will say no. I will go right. This is what I would have done, but to require some tweaks. I would have used like an if statement in conjunction with the day, in conjunction with the if, right? What do I mean by that? Maybe I can come here. I will say I'm coming. We'll learn everything, but there are multiple ways of working with this. So I'll say ifs. Okay. Let me see if I can quickly come up with something. I will say right. What do I do? Comma. I will say I will do what's going to be my first test will be this, then this, right? And this. Then I'll copy this. We're experimenting something here. So this time around is going to be equal to, I'll go 3. This time around, I will say 3 is RD.
RD.
Yes, comma. I'll paste 2 will be ND, comma. 1 this will be ST, right? So I hope I'm covering all of the brackets properly. This is concat. I need to close. I need to close it. I need to close this, right? I need to close this. So let's start from here, comma. Okay. Concat this plus this. Okay, this is the first closure of the bracket. When you start writing, it becomes complex. This, okay, okay. Concat day, bracket day, comma, RD. Okay, we'll close this here, comma. If the day is equals to 2 concats, okay, 3 day is equals to 1, that's 4. Now let me see. This should work. I hope there's no error. Okay. So, right, we can do something like this. Now, I'm just showing you things to come, right? Things we'll be working with. You can see that it is automatically assigning different extensions. Let me use the word extensions to them. Again, the function looks complex, right? But it's easy. I'll break everything down when we get here. So for the weekday, like I told you guys, the weekday is used to extract the day of the week number. So if it's Monday, if Monday is the first day of the week, it's going to be 1. If it's Sunday, Sunday will not become 1. Right? What do I mean by that? I'll go equal to weekday. Weekday, I'll reference my dates. I'll press comma. It will ask me what return type do I want? Do I want Sunday to be the first day of the week? Do I want Monday to be the first day of the week? If I want Sunday to be the first day of the week, I'm going to use 1. If I want Tuesday to be the first day of the week, I can use 2. If I want, so because of my own belief, I'm going to go with Monday being the first day of the week. So I will select 2. And I will close it and I'll press enter. Right? So you can see Sunday is giving us 7. So Tuesday should give us 2. Right? Friday should give us 5, and so on. You understand? So this is how this works. This is how this works. Then also we have the week number. What does the week number do? The week number tells us which week of the year these dates fall under. Right? Which week of the year these dates fall under. So how do I do that? Again, very simple. Equal to week number. I'll reference the dates and I'll just press enter. And I'll drag you down. Right? I'll drag it down here. So I will say, okay, 1st of January is in the first week. 14th of February is in the second week, seventh week of the year. Let's check Christmas. Yes, Christmas. Christmas should be in the 52 or the 52nd or 53rd week of the year. You can see 52. You understand? So that's how the weekday and the week number works. If you have any questions, you can ask now. Simi? Simi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Sir, I don't understand. When you chose the weekday, you
Yeah.
said you make Monday the first day, but you said you use two. So I don't understand. Why did you use two?
If you mainly put comma, you will see this thing will pop up, right? This will pop up. So based on the criteria as written here, it's so tiny. I don't know if you can see it. So one signifies one means Sunday is going to be 1, Saturday is going to be 7. 2 means Monday is going to be 1, Sunday is going to be 7. 3 means 0 is going to be Monday and Sunday is going to be 6, right?
Okay.
Then we'll have 11,
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
which means 1 is Monday through Sunday 7. I don't know why it's being repeated, right? So if I choose 1 and I press enter, this Sunday will become 1. Can you see? Because it's now going with Sunday being the first day of the week. Can you see? You can see Tuesday is now the 3rd day of the week. You guys understand? So that's how this works. So we're able to pull out the day of the week, the year, the month. We use the text function to pull out the month name because all of these are numbers, right? We're able to pull out the weekday and the week number of the year. So I've taught you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 functions for dates. Now this one I know is looking crazy, but don't worry yourself. You by next week you will be able to write this, right? You have nothing to worry about. So a Chinansa, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother mentioning that name. Let me not ruin it. But Chinansa, your hand was up.
Yes, sir. Sir, I didn't really get how you got the weekdays. I didn't get that part. I was having network issue when you were explaining it.
The weekday
Hello?
said the weekday is basically the function weekday.
That's my question, sir.
You reference the date column, comma. Mainly it puts comma. I think this is the third time I'm going over it. You will see a drop down menu here asking you what kind of configuration do you want to use for the weekday. Do you want Monday to be the start of the week? Do you want Sunday to be the start of the week? There's even one here, Saturday, Wednesday is the first day of the week. There's one, Thursday is the first day of the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So depending on your choice, you can use. Like we used one here, which made Sunday the first day of the week. If I change it to 2, Monday will now become the first day of the week, and Sunday will become the last day of the week based on the criteria given here. This menu you're seeing here. It's tiny, but if you try it on your end, it's going to be visible. You understand what I'm talking about. Immediately I press enter, it has changed now to 7.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So in this song, Ebon, do you have a question?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Good evening, coach. Good evening, everyone. My name is
Good evening.
Insison.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, sorry, I came here a bit late and I really didn't get the part of the week number or something. I really didn't get it, but I think I got weekday, but I didn't get that of the number, please.
So week number is basically which week of the year does your
Okay,
date fall in? Look at it. Again, the function is the name of the header there. Look at the function. Week num. What does this mean? 1st of January, New Year. New Year is the first week of the year. Can you see? First. Say something like Christmas. Christmas is the 52nd week of the year. 52nd. Can you see? Can you see? Something like Valentine's should be either the 6th or the 7th week of the year, 14th. And you can see here the 7th week. You understand? So that's how the week number works. There are a lot of other options. A lot of other options you can check for the quarter of the year it falls in. You can also check for the number of days, work days, which is the network day function. That is the network days. This signifies the number of days, but this will be the start and the end date. For example, I want to check the number of days between 1st of January 2023 and say April Fools. How many days do people go to work here? Which is Mondays through Fridays. And I press enter. It will tell me 65 days. So from New Year's to April Fool's Day, people went to work for 65 days. That's how the network days function works. So there are many, but we're covering the basic fundamentals. Once you get the gist, you can play along with a lot more functions, which I think is going to be covered in the notes. I've given it out. Are we together?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right. So Rachel Adenike, you have a question?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
evening.
good evening. So my question is it possible to get the first day in a month where it falls to the same way we get the first day in a week? Like, with the month also bring when the month starts in a week? Do you get what I'm trying to ask?
I don't. Can you come again, please?
Okay, like, some months starts in a midweek. So if you want to guess, probably use Eze. Can you use Eze to guess? Okay, what's the first day in this month? Maybe October now. When will the first day in October falls to? Is it Monday, Tuesday, or something? That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, you can, but it's a combination. It's a combination of functions. You have this function called year month,
Okay.
right? Year month. This basically means end of month, right? If you put it past the month in here, let's say, hmm, let's go March, comma. Sorry. Why is this giving us 450? 1 minute. Hmm. Yeah, sorry, it was in the wrong date format, right? So this is what I would do. I would do this. I will go +1. Let me encase this. Let's see if this will work, right? Let's see if this will work. So I will go this, comma. I would go this. I'm just thinking on the fly. Let's see if it will work. So can you see? Yes, it works. You understand? So we're able, surely, I think there should be an easier way of doing this. But just ask the questions. I just went with what came to my head immediately. So with this function, you can see that we're able to find out the first day of the month for What do we link here? Yes. This is the first day of the month for April 2023.
Okay.
It's on a Monday.
Alright.
So everything is logic. Like I always tell you guys, it's the man that makes the tool, not the tool that makes the man. Just have the ability to think on the fly, be able to solve a problem. So the way you painted the problem for me, and I had to mix match functions together. So see all these functions I'm teaching you guys individually, you have to use them together with logical reasoning to solve real world problems. This isn't 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 5 plus 5. You understand? You need to use these functions to solve problems. You should be able to think. In fact, it's even better you have the logical reasoning and problem solving ability on lock, right? Knowing what to do. It's better you know what to do and don't know how to do it, right? Rather than knowing how to do something but not knowing when to do it. What do I mean by that? You can cram all of these functions. If somebody like the way this lady now, she just painted a scenario now, and I am not thinking, because fine, I know I have the experience, so it's kind of like second language to me. Now I can use Excel, Power BI, and Python and SQL fluently. So, and the logic has been there breeding for almost a year now, because I think I'll be a year in the field in November. I know the logic already, right? But if you've understood the logic, you've understood what to do, you can easily go online. You say, okay, fine, I'm looking for a function that I can use to extract the month and the day number of the first day of the following month, right? And the internet will give you those functions. Then you can merge them together with the logic you have in your head, right? To give you the output you're looking for. Nobody is perfect. You don't have to cram all of these functions. What you need to understand is the logic. Are we together? Are we together? The logic is very important. It's good to know these functions, right? But the logic and the reasoning, you need to think like a data analyst to be able to utilize these functions to their fullest capabilities. At the end of the day, these are all functions that are just there. It's left for you to utilize them to the best that you possibly can, right? So now, Patience, yes, I saw you. I was coming to you. I know your hand is up. You can ask your question now. Patience.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, I'm asking. I think I came in a bit late. That that day column where there is first 14th, like I didn't get it. How did you get it?
Okay, this,
Yes.
just forget about this for now. The function is kind of complicated. Can you see it? Right?
Mm.
So you guys will get to this level. Don't worry. Probably by next week, you should be able to be using this. So just relax. I was just trying to show an example, right? So just let it go
Okay,
for now.
then where there is week number, is it week number? I didn't get that. Then also week number.
Okay, for the week number, please, because of time, I think if you go back to watch this video, I went over this week number 3 times because 3 different people asked the same question, right? So you can go back to the video and I think you have a better understanding. Do you understand? Please.
Okay.
Thank you. So these are some of the functions that you can use to manipulate dates. Always know how to manipulate dates. It is one of the hardest formats, data types to work with. Dates. Always know how to manipulate them. You will need it. You will need it. Right? So now I've gotten this. Say I want to perform an analysis that requires me to categorize this into weekend and weekdays. I have this dates function. I want to categorize this into weekend and weekdays. What do I do? What I need to do is to come here and I will encase this with an if statement. Right? I will encase this with an if statement. Again, logic is important. I'll say, okay, fine, if this is greater or equal to, if this is greater or equal to 6, comma, weekday, weekend, else weekday. And I'll drag it down. And automatically we'll have this. Now you can see Tuesday. Tuesday is a weekday. Friday is a weekday. Saturday, weekend. Monday, weekday. Right? So these things work in layers. You need to understand this granular level of it first. Then you can start mixing and matching with a lot of functions, give you your desired results. Again, the level of logical reasoning, absolutely important. Rachel. Rachel,
Hey,
Philip.
good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Please, I wanted to ask, you used the function to create the weekday and weekend. I wanted to ask, what particular thing did you use to represent the else in the function?
You will get a better understanding when we get there, right? You get a better understanding when we get there. It's an if statement, it's a conditional statement. You understand it better when we get there. Manuela, Lila,
Baklela.
Maclela,
Hello, good evening, sir.
double E.
Yes, Lela.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Please, the number 7 on week. Okay. Did you change it to did you start with Monday as weekday or
Which number
hello,
7?
sir?
Which number
No,
7?
sorry, like the weekday column. The weekday column.
Mm-hmm.
Did you start with Monday as a weekday? Sorry,
Yeah,
Monday as the first day.
Monday as the first day of the week.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is it. Let me just undo this so that you guys will have the, you know. So now, the reason I'm writing some of this complex, not really complex, but a little bit more advanced formulas is to spark your interest as to where we are heading to over the next couple of days, right? We'll start small, we'll expand, and it becomes more technical from the previous class. So I really hope you guys will work with me and make it easy. So I'm kind of, I don't know if he's worried or concerned about the lack of questions today. I'm assuming everybody's getting it. So now, just like integers, numbers, you can add and subtract dates. But before that, I want to tell you guys two functions that is very useful. We have the today function. We have the, oh my God. We have the today, let me expand this. We have the today function, and we have the now function. Can anyone guess what this function does? Okay. Beatrice.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, sir. Once more again. I believe that today function is talking about is going to like 24 hours within the day, while a now function we're talking about the present time, like in real time.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Blessing.
All right. The today function tells you the current date, while the now function tells you the current date and current time.
All right. So she's actually correct there. And somebody in the chat as well. I didn't really catch the name, but I saw what you wrote there. So kudos to the both of you and to the person who attempted as well. Please, it's okay to fail. It's okay to get it wrong. That's how you learn. So if you have ask questions, you can always attempt. no shades whatsoever, right? So what does the function do? Like she said, is to give us the real time dates. If I click on today and I close it, I don't have to pass any arguments inside, and I press enter. It's giving us 13th of 9, 2024. I come here and I change this to a long date format. Yeah. Let me expand this line a bit. You can see Friday, September the 13th, 2024. This is what this today function does. Now, what about the now? Like she also said, it not only gives us the real dates like today, it also gives us the time down to the minutes, right? Down to the minutes. You can see here. Again, for clarity, I'll come here. Will it work? Let's see. Ctrl Z. It won't work like that. Let me change it back to custom. Oh, let me just run it back. You can see here 13th of September 2024, and the time is 17:49. We look here, this is 5:49, right? So that's what the today function does. And then now. So now, what is an example? What is the use case for this? Let's say you're working as a data clerk, maybe in a hospital, right? And you want to monitor, you want to manage, I want to manage the today function is used to return today's date, right? The current date. Why the now functions not only return the current date, but it's the current time as well, right? So that's the difference. The only difference between today and now is that now also returns the correct time. As you can see here, this is the date, this is the time. Then we have here just the dates. Now, one use case you can use this, maybe number one, to issue out receipts, or maybe you want to manage, say you're working with a pharmacy and you want to have the book, the sheets, you have the customer the patient's bio data, but you also want to have a timestamp for when they were admitted and when they were released. You can use the today, right? If you're working for a supermarket or a hairdressing salon, anywhere that has to do with transactions, you want to get not just the day but also the time. You can also you cannot use the now. So if somebody makes the payment, you can register it using the now. It will clock in the date and the time of payment. So can you guys see how these two functions can be used? Right? So I'm coming, Christabel and Bibitayo. Just 1 minute. You guys will have a chance to ask the question. So now, like I said before, you can also manipulate, you can minus, you can subtract dates from each other. What do I mean by that? Say, for example, right? All these people, like you're owing, let's say, Pampe, and or you want to collect money from Fair Money, all these people there, right? All these loan sharks. This is kind of like a simulation on how they ascertain when your loan is due. So let's say you collected the loan today, right? So what do? I say equals to today equals to today, right? Then they say, okay, fine, your loan is for 45 days, right? So you want to pay back, you have to pay back the loan in 45 days time. So for them to return the date of the payments, what do? Just come here, we add plus 45 plus 45, and I'll press enter. Can you see? So we have a new date. here. So what's the new dates? Let me change this to a long date. So it's now October 28th, which is on a Monday, 2024. So can you see how we're able to add and subtract using dates, right? I can also say, okay, fine, if I want to find out how many days from Christmas of 2023 to Independence Day of 2024, I can use two ways. I can go date diff, right? Okay, that date diff function isn't here in Excel. So I can just come here, December 2025, or rather, I'm going to use the earliest dates, which will be Independence Day minus December 25th. And I'll press enter. Then I'll change this to number or general. And you can see here. So from December 2025, 2023 to Independence Day, which is July 4th, 2024, we have 192 days between them. If you have questions, you can ask. But let me start with you, Christabel. Your hand has been up. You can ask a question. Christabel, the refactor.
Okay, sir. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So I wanted to ask if all of these functions are compiled in a place because I wasn't participating fully in the last class because of network. So I want to know because I'm not really following up with everything. So I want to ask if it's compiled in a note, the functions.
Yeah, the major functions from aggregate all the way down to lookups, they're all compiled in the note, and you will get them. They have nothing to worry
Okay.
about. Yeah.
Okay. Then secondly, how did you change the dates to the long format? I don't know. I didn't see it where you went to
Just
because I want to follow up. Yeah, how you
just
changed it to the long format.
click on the dates you want to change or
Okay.
the column that houses the dates. Go to home, come here in the format. You have this long
Okay.
date to have the dates. So you select which one you want. Okay. So Lawal, questions.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Good evening. Please, my question is when you're able to calculate the owing date for in terms of
Yeah.
days, what of if we want
Yes.
to calculate it in months or in year? How do we go about it?
In months or
Or year?
in years.
Yes, yes, to come. How do we go about
I
it?
can just come here and I will go this minus this. This minus this divided by 30. Is that correct? I'm coming now. I'm coming. Divided by 30. No? Sorry. So we have this, right? Basic mathematics, no can embarrass me for it. I'm coming. 192 divided by 30. Am I getting here? 6.4, right? 6.4. So this is basically 6 months. No? No? Okay, sorry. I did something else here. I was now wondering why I was getting 6.4 months. So let's see. Divided by 30. Let's see what we're getting here. Why are we getting this? 1 minute. We'll have this. Have this. I'm gonna try something. I'm calling. What to? Let's see. Why am I getting something else here?
So I tried to put it in brackets, and let's see,
Right.
820 minus 818, or in brackets.
That might actually work. Let's see. But yes, thank you very much. I just had a brain fart there. So you can see, right? You can see. So it's 6.4 months. If it's years, you can use 365, right? You can see it is 0.52 years. That means that's just over half a year. If it's weeks, you can use 27 weeks. You understand? So that's
Yes,
how you
thank
manipulate this work how you want. Then you can add some other elements by using conditional statements to even make it better. You understand? So this is it. This is all we're covering for dates. There are lots more functions which will be listed in the notes. You can try. There are lots more functions. But because of time, that's why I'm moving at this pace. Does anybody have any question pertaining dates we've done? You have any question performing dates? Did I say performing? Oh my God. I think my brain is on overdrive right now. I'm mixing words up. Very sorry. I've had a very stressful day today. So, Loveline.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Please,
Yeah,
I
good
have a
evening.
question concerning that owing date, the owing date. Is it that
Yeah.
it's present on the interface, or do you press something to get that particular function?
No, no,
I don't know.
it's just something I typed in, right? It's a text. I just
Okay.
typed it in. That's all. Yeah, that's all. That's all. Right? I can, there's something I can do here that will start adding a certain percentage, right? Of, the way all these loan sharks they do now, that once you've missed a day, they'll start adding money. I can write an Excel function that will do that. As per the day, number of days you've defaulted whilst collecting a loan, right? With them added to the money you collected and the percentage. But it's too complex for you guys for today. So I will leave it as it is. So in the absence of any other questions, let's move to text functions. This is where we'll have a lot of problems. This first part will be easy. Working with this part will become a problem, right? Working with this part will become a problem. I know because I've been there, and I know, and you guys, people that are clamoring for assignments, you guys should get set. Because these new assignments, and I go yara. People that are clamoring for practical assignments, get yourself prepared for this. So let me open those functions, the functions for Excel, the notes. Have I given you guys notes on functions before?
Yes.
Okay, let me open. Not this one. I'm coming up. Sorry. I have two functions here. Okay. So you can see these are the aggregate functions. These are the date functions, what they do, right? We have loads more here that we didn't cover, but they're here. So now we're going to work with some text functions here. So I'm going to write them out. So the first thing I'll write here is I will go No? I'll start with this. Let's start with this, right? Concatenate. What does this function do? We'll be playing around with about 12 now or more. Okay, Glory. Emma Glory.
Concatenate is just to add two things, bring one value and add to the other value.
Okay, you're correct. You're correct. Thank you for that. So concatenate is used to join one or more strings or columns together, right? There are two ways of doing this. Now I'm working on a data set. They're asking you, okay, fine. We want you to create a unique column that we can use maybe as a primary key, in the sense that multiple people here can have the same first name, but it's extremely difficult for somebody to have the same first name and last name in your job, right? I want to perform an analysis, but we're only given the first name and the last name, right? So we're about to get, they said, okay, fine, we need the full name. So what do? I'm going to use the concatenate, right? I used this earlier, but I didn't explain. So I'll go concat, first name, last name, right? First name, last name. I press enter. We have this here, right? But there's a problem. There's a problem here. What is the problem, class? Lesson.
There is no space.
There is no space. So how do we treat that space? It's very simple. What do I need to do? I'll come here. After the first thing I want to concat, I'll put double quotation. I'll press space. I'll close it. I'll press comma. Then I press enter. Can you see? Now we've effectively gotten their full names, right? What this basically means is that you can literally add anything inside, right? And it's going to be added to it. Whenever you put comma, quotation mark, everything inside that quotation mark will be added to the concatenation you're trying to do. So in this case, I just didn't want to, I would only wanted to add a space. So I just did the comma, open quotation, space, close quotation, another comma, then I close it. Then we have this, right? This is using the function. I can also do this using this. I'll go equal to this and this, I think, and I'm coming home. It's been a while. It's been a while. I wrote it like this. Let me see. Yes, you can see, right? So I was able to pull it out using two ways. I told you guys everything we do. I will show you multiple ways of getting it done. So you can see the first two of concatenate, which is using the function concat. The second way here, which is using this ampersand. Ampersand is the concatenate symbol, right? You can use it to merge anything you want. And I used it to also get the full name here. Are we together? Let me quickly take this out. So we've gotten the full name here, right? Cool. There is another problem. Let me see the people that have eyes. What problem do we have here? Okay, Victoria Okafor.
Okay, the problem is that the letters, some are in capital while some are in small letter.
Thank you very much. So that is the problem here. One of, thank you. Yeah, even from one of the functions you perform when cleaning a data set is inconsistent formatting. This format is not correct, right? In the sense that the right format should be first, the first letter of every name should be capitalized, while the rest should be small letters. So I'm going to fix this. When I have to fix this, we're going to play with three new functions. So we'll have the upper, we have the lower, and we have the proper. Rahima, do you have a question? Rahima. Okay. So what does the upper function do? The upper function converts everything into sorry, my brain is not operating at 100%. How am I forgetting little things like this? Right? I'm really, really sorry for today. I'm not in the optimal state of mind, bro. I have to be here for you ladies. So you can see what the upper does. The upper basically converts everything past in it into capital letters. Right? Straightforward. Straightforward. Now, what do you think the lower is going to do, class? Okay. Glory, Emma Glory.
It will convert everything to lowercase, to smaller
Convert.
letters.
Yes. Or you all are correct. Convert everything to lowercase. So I will go equal to lower. I'm going to click this. You can see. But the right function we should be using for names like this, every first letter should be capital. So that is where the proper comes in. It capitalizes the first letter of every word. Right? I click on this, I press enter, and I drag it down. You'll see that we've gotten rid of the inconsistent formats of the names here as compared to this. Right? Favor, yeah.
Okay, good evening, sir. I want to know, does it mean that yes, I'm here. Does it mean that on the first instance we can't get it correctly, other than
No, you
creating another
can't. You can't. Well, what do you mean by from the first instance?
like the one we match the two names, that first column there after merging the two names, where we're having consistencies, where some of them we're having uppercase, we're having lowercase. And then
Yeah.
until we created a different one, we're putting them differently again. I wanted to know, does it mean that on the first instance, we cannot get them correctly instead of creating
No,
another column?
we can. All I need to do is add proper in front of this, and I'll close it. I'll just encase it in proper and I'll press enter. Can you see? I've I've gotten it. Can you see it? It's fixed. I'm just breaking it down so that we can play with a lot of options, a lot of functions we'll be working with today. That's why I'm going into all of them one by one. But please, you guys should pay very close attention. If you have questions, be asking, because once we get down here, it's a different ball game altogether. It's a different ball game altogether. So please, if you have questions, I implore you to ask, please. We'll have the left, we'll have the right, we'll have the mid. I'm going to add the len. We're going to use the len. We use find. We use search. 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 we use substitutes. These are the functions we'll be playing with. Substitutes. That is wrong. Substitutes. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll cover 12 functions today. 12 functions. So we've gotten the upper, we've gotten the lower, we've gotten the proper. Right? Very good. Now, Favor, is this a new question, or if you forgot to take your hand from before? Okay,
Sorry,
Favor.
sorry. I forgot to take my hand down. I'm sorry.
All right. So now we are going into the trim function. What does the trim function do? The trim function literally gets rid of extra spaces, right, in a string. Say, for example, I come here. Maybe I'm sorry. Let me dereference this, right? Let me dereference this so that I can access it. So now, see, there's an extra space here. You can easily see it, right? But what if there's an extra space here? There's an extra space here. Let me just put random spaces. Right? So we have some random spaces here. Excel treats spaces as characters. Excel treats spaces as characters. If I were to use the len, which I'll come to, I go equals to len. The len is used to return the number of characters. If I click on this and I press enter, it's giving me 8. Sorry, let me reference this John Doe here from proper. It's giving me 9. It's telling me there are 9 characters here. Why is it telling me there are 9 characters? Because it's counting J as 1, O as 2, H as N, H as 3, N as 4. There are 2 spaces here, 5, 6, D, 7, O, 8, E, 9. Can you see? So spaces are also treated as characters. And when working with text, it is important to make sure there are no extra spaces. And how can we do that? By using the trim function. If I click on the trim and I press this and I press enter, automatically that's cleaned it for us. I'll drag it down. Right? I'll drag it down. You can see that it has gotten rid of the extra space here and also the extra spaces that are here, even though we can't see them. Again, if I dereference this, if you see here, we have an extra space at the end here. Look at it. But by using the trim function, if I come here, there's nothing here, right? We've gotten rid of all of the extra spaces by using the trim function. And it's very important because when we start merging names together is easy. Separating the names, that's where a problem comes in, right? And because Excel counts spaces as characters, we need to make sure the spaces in each word or character, whatever, should be the adequate amount. Hence, it's going to bring our work. Are we together? You guys have any questions? Any questions? All right. I've done the trim function. Look at it here now. I just did the trim function to get rid of the extra spaces. Equals to trim, then the cell you're trying to trim. That's it. So we're going to talk about the left, we're going to talk about the mid, we're going to talk about the right. So now, the left function, what is it used for? Is used to cut out characters starting from the left-hand side of of a string of values or characters. Right? Now, you might ask, when is this useful? Let me paint a scenario for you. You have the data sets. Let me see if I have them open here. Let me open let me open this. Right? Let me insert a new column here. So now we'll just call this country, right? Country. Call this country. So the letters are too long, right? So instead of Australia, I want AUS. Instead of Germany, we want GER. Instead of Belgium, we want BEL. France, we want FRA. The Netherlands, we want NET. So how do we do that? We can use the left function, right? So this is how the left function works. Equal to left. So now ask me, which text do I want to cut? In this case, the export country, right? Then comma, how many characters do I want to cut out from it? In this case, we want to get only the first 3 letters. So what do? I'll press 3, I'll press enter. Can you see? It has now cut out the first 3 letters for us. Now we can use this for our analysis. Now we can use this for analysis. So do you understand how the left works? Please, from here, see from here, pay close attention to this next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These next 7 functions. Pay close attention because it's about to get complex all of a sudden. Once I get to substitute, once I come down, from that down becomes complex. So please pay close attention to this. All right, Doris Opara, question before I write out the left function.
All right, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Please, I
Hey, good
didn't
evening.
quite like the left function, like the example you show. Can you please do that again? The example.
I'm about to write it here. So we
Okay,
want to
sir.
cut out the first 3 letters of each word, each name here. So how do I go about that? I'll go equal to left. Equal to left. What is the text? Here, right? Okay, let's go with the first 4 characters, right? Comma. So now I ask you, how many characters do you want to cut out? You will now put 4. You press enter. And I've gotten John. John from John Doe. Then I will drag it down. Like I said, I will cut out the first 4 letters of each name here. Can you guys see? That's how the left works. Chinansa, your question. Chinansa.
So you've answered the question already. It's the same question I was going to ask.
All right. Patience. Patience.
I have understood how they do it. You've
All
answered
right.
the question.
All right. So that is how the left work. You reference the cell. You reference the cell you want to cut and the number of characters you want to cut from the left hand side. So if that's how the left works, what do you think the mid function does? Anyone? Lawal.
The middle is used to pick character from the middle springs or character.
Okay, you're almost correct. The mid is used to cut out functions from
Okay.
anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be the middle, but it can start cutting from anywhere. What do I mean by that? I'll come here. I'll go into mid, right? I'll click on mid. This mid has 3 arguments. It has the text you want to cut, where do you want to start cutting from, and the numbers of characters you want to cut. right? So if I were to reference this as the text I want to cut, and I reference the start number where I want to start cutting from as 1, comma, and I tell it, okay, fine, cut 4, the 4 characters from that start position, and I press enter, I will still get jump. Can you see? I've just used it now as a left. So because it's called mid, that doesn't mean it only cuts from the middle. It can cut from anywhere, depending on where you point it to start cutting from. So it has 3 arguments: the text you want to cut, where do you want to start cutting from, and the numbers of characters you want to cut. Now, let's say I want to start cutting from the 4th character, and I want to cut 4 characters from the 4th character. So how do I do that? I will say mid, I will do this. This is where I want to cut from, comma. Where do I want to start cutting from? I want to start cutting from the 4th character. So I press 4, comma. How many characters do I want to cut from the 4th character? 4. And I press enter. And you can see, I will drag it down. Now, remember I told you Excel counts spaces as characters. That's why you can see here, it's giving us that space, as it's counting it as a character. So you can see you have NDO here, N space DO. We have E space SN. If I click here, you will see that the Albert, this space here, is here as well. Let me quickly reference it so that I can use it. So if I click in here, you can see that there's an extra space. Look at the space here. Can you see that space? Is there because it's counting space as a character. So now I've done the left, I've done the mid. What does the right do? Anyone? I always call you retouch, but no vex. Is it retouch?
Sorry, I just wanted to ask question based on the mid.
Yes.
What if we want to start speaking from the space that is John space Joe, and we want it to be consistent throughout the line?
That's where we'll start using when we come here, right? Just relax. It's going to get pretty juicy very fast.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So Blessing, do you want to help us out with, okay, people are getting this in the comments, but Blessing, the floor is yours. What does the right do?
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
I feel the right is going to cut from the right axis, just like the left cut from the left. The right will cut from the right hand side. Like for instance, you have John Doe. If you want to cut from the left, you from the right rather, you have to put right, then the the cell of which we want to work with, and then the number of which the number of which we want it to start cutting from at the right. Like for instance, we're working with
No,
John Doe. We can
no,
put like
no. You made a mistake. If immediately you pull right, the cursor is starting the cutting from the right hand side. So there's no point telling it where to start cutting from. The right is already telling it start cutting from the right.
yeah.
You
Then you
understand?
put the number of which you wanted to cut. Yeah. For instance, if it's 4 character, like we're working with John Doe and we just want to have like Doe, we'll put 3.
Easy. Pretty straightforward. Right? Pretty straightforward.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you guys understood that she said. So it's basically the opposite of left, in the sense that instead of it to start cutting from the left hand side, it just starts cutting from the right. So you go equal to right and the cell and the number of character you want to start cutting from the right hand side. Now, let's move over to len. What does the len do? The len is used to know the length of the character. in a cell. How many characters are there in a cell? Very straightforward. Equal to len. Let's go. Let's use this, right? I'll press. Okay, it's going to give us 4 throughout. Let's use this one that is a little bit dynamic. I'll press enter. It's giving us 8. So why is it giving us 8? JOHN 4 space 5 DOE 8. I drag it down. It's giving us the respective lengths of each string. Right? That's how the len works. Pretty straightforward. Now we'll have the find, we'll have the search, and we'll have the replace. Now the find and search are very similar, but there's just one distinct difference. Right? There's just one distinct difference. The find returns the starting position of a text string within another text string. Right? And it is case sensitive. The search is similar to find, but the search is used to find. So while the find looks for the position, the search looks for the word or the character, right? Okay, sorry, I think that was a mistake on my end. The find and the search basically do the same thing, right? The find and the search basically do the same thing. They look for the starting position of whatever you're telling them to find. I was mixing up substitute and replace. Substitute and replace. Your first assignment, I want you guys to tell me what substitute does. As your first assignment, please, it's going to be jotted down. I want you guys to tell me what substitute does with examples and what replace does. And what is the difference between substitute and replace? They are very similar with just one distinct difference between the both of them. They do almost the same thing, but slightly different. So the search. Let's say I want to search for Doe, right? In John Doe. Let's say I want to search for Doe in John Doe. What do? I'll go equal to, I will say find. Find. What do I want to find? I want to find Doe, right? Where do I want to find Doe in? I want to find it in here. Then the start position, again, you can tell you where to start from, but I want to start from the beginning. So it's optional. I'll just close my bracket and I'll press enter. It's giving me 6. It's giving me 6. Why is it giving me 6? It's telling me that, okay, fine. From the 6th index of that word John Doe, that is where the Doe starts from. So for count here, J is 1, O is 2, H is 3, N is 4, space is 5, D is 6. Right? So we'll have Doe. Then if I drag it down, it's giving us value error. Why? Because this is the only name that has Doe in it. So the rest is just going to return an error. So let me change from Doe to, let's say, what is it? Let me change it to A. Let me just change it to A. And let me press enter. And let me drag it down. Now you can see, right? A is the second character here. Even though A is the first character here, because it is case sensitive, it's giving us an error. If I change this thing from small letter A to capital letter A, it's going to give us 1. Can you see? So that is what the find function does. It literally looks for the position of what you're looking for in a text string. Doris Opara.
Well, that assignment, I didn't get it. Can you repeat it?
So I want you guys to tell me the definition and the use of substitute and replace and the difference between both of them. The difference between both of them. Yeah, that's the assignment. Rachel Chuku, do you have a question?
Yes. I do not. Please, can you I did not understand what you said that find is. I mean the definition. Yes.
Let me pull up. If I show you guys this thing, you guys should know the definition of replace and substitute. Okay, let me whiten it so you guys won't see it. Let me change the color. Let me highlight it with black. All right. Now, look at find. Right. Look at find here. Let me zoom in further. So the find returns the starting position. The find returns the starting position of one text string within another text string. That is what the find does. It is case sensitive, right? Search is the exact same thing as find, but it's not case sensitive. But it's not case sensitive, right? So if I were to come here and I say find, I want to look for A, right? I want to look for A. I want to look for A, comma. Where do I want to look for A? I want to look for A here. I want to look for A here. And I'll press enter. It's giving me a value error. Why? Because there's no A here. Right? There's no A here. But if I drag it down, Elizabeth has A here, but there are two A's here. So it's only going to return the first match, which is the fifth letter here. You can see 5. For Albert, there's A there, but because it is case sensitive, it's not saying small letter A and capital letter A as the same thing. Hence, it's going to return the value error. Now, if I were to use search here, search will do the same thing, but the only difference is search isn't search isn't case sensitive. So I'll do the same thing. I want to look for A, comma. Where do I want to look for A? I want to look for A here. The exact same function. The only thing we are changing is find for search. And I'll press enter. And I will drag it down. And you see that here we're going to return a value. It's giving us 1 here. Why? Because this one is case sensitive. This isn't case sensitive. Lawal, question.
Yes, I'd like to ask, from what you have
Yes.
explained so far, the difference between find and search is because one is case sensitive, the other one is not case sensitive. Can they be
Yes.
used interchangeably, or there are situations whereby we use find and there are situations whereby we use change or search rather?
The only situation where you would maybe say use search rather than find is when maybe you're dealing with a text that has both capital and small letters. So to avoid the
Sorry, I didn't
restriction
get
of
that.
cases
Text that has what?
that has capital letters in there, I told you
Okay.
a mixture. One is case sensitive, one isn't. So to be on the safe side, just use search, because search is going to disregard the case of it. But if you're looking for just capital letters, you can use also search, but what you'll be searching should be in capital letter, right? But they're interchangeable. Basically, there's just one difference. One has case sensitivity restriction, the other doesn't, right?
All
So
right,
based
nice.
on your need,
Okay.
you can decide to use.
All right. My second question is, when we're using search or find, can we have two criteria inside? Maybe like we're looking for, because from the example in the handout I saw, we have hello, then word together. Can we like search for two things inside a particular formula? Do you get
It
that,
doesn't
please?
matter what you're looking for, just put it inside here. Just put it, even if it's a full sentence, right? Just put it inside that double quotation, and it's going to find it where you want to look for it in. if it's there.
What I'm saying is, can we have like two double quotation inside a form, like find equals to blah 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 inside a quotation, then comma, another blah 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 inside another quotation for one find? Is it possible?
I don't think so. No. Rather,
Okay.
what I feel might work is maybe the use of, I've never done this before. Probably, I don't know if this will work, but let me say, let me try something. I don't think this will work. I'm not sure. I'll have to check and get back on you. I don't think it will work. I don't think it will work. I'll confirm and I'll get back to you probably next class. All right. I'll confirm. Let me not mislead anybody here. I don't know. I'll confirm. We'll kick off with that next class. I'll probably drop it in the group chat. So, Deborah Chisom, do you have a question? Rachel Philip, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. So
What was the
from
question?
the sheets, we can see that there are some cells that have more than one A's in them. Is there any function that can actually count the number of A's that can be found in a particular cell?
There should be, but I'll have to confirm. It's probably not going to be a function, but a combination of more than one function. Right? It's probably going to be a formula. I don't know that off the top of my head because I don't think they have ever had a use for that kind of function before. But it should be. I'll also check and confirm. Probably we'll do that briefly in the next class.
All
All
right,
right.
sir.
All right. Then Esther Paul, that was the last question. Esther Paul, please. So
Okay,
I
good
can move
evening,
on
sir.
to some technical. Yes.
Please, I want to ask. You said that you mentioned something about uh, substantial. When we're working on the data, we need substantial data for this for any work we're working on. I want to ask: Is this I always think that data analysis is more about creating dashboards and making business decisions. Is this also one of the jobs like finding all of this? Are these like the how should I even are those the basics all data analysis should have whenever you're working on a data? Like, are you meant to be doing all of this for a data before you decide to start working on that data? I just want to know.
Good question. Now, the ability to manipulate date functions and the ability to manipulate text functions is very important when it comes to the cleaning and structuring of your data. You need to be able to do all of this, right? So that when and if the case arises when you're preparing your data. I work with data a lot, right? Obviously, I'm a data analyst. There are times where I might need to pull out something from a group of especially when I'm cleaning. For example, a data set of like a survey that there's a sentence there, and you just want to pull out a keyword from inside, right? To use to summarize that whole sentence. You have to use some of these text functions. So especially when it comes to data cleaning, it is of absolute necessity to know all of these text functions. They are very, very important. Maybe if not for the analysis aspect, but for the cleaning, preparation, and structuring of a data analysis, you need to be able to manipulate text. You need to be able to manipulate date functions. They are very important. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. This answers my question. Thank you.
So know them. Yeah, know them, please. So now, this is where it becomes interesting, right? This is where it becomes interesting. I wanted to attach a monetary incentive, a recharge card incentive here, but I fear say some of them already know the answer. So I know just want that person free money like that. But I'll be really surprised. Oh, oh my God. Sorry about that. So we have this, right? So the last person that asked that question, you will see how all of this come together, right? We are learning this in different chunks. You see how all of this comes together. So now you're faced with something like this. And they say, okay, fine. We want you to separate the first name, the middle name, and the last name from here. If anybody can get it here, I'll be really, really surprised, and I'll be really impressed as well. If, of course, if you went through the notes I dropped for you guys, you should be able to do it because it's there. But I will just I plan on explaining it further, or expecting you guys to read ahead. But let's see if you guys actually did. So I'm going to start with the first person whose hand is up. So that's Modupe Oluwa Lawal.
Okay. We can separate it using text to colon. Then the
So
delimiter should be
yes,
space.
yes. All right. Why did I show you guys that text to column? That was like a cheat code to get out of everything. Now you guys should pretend text to column does not exist. It doesn't work. I want to use functions to pull out these names, these parts of these names. How do I do that? Text to columns works. The limiter will be space to separate it immediately. But let's go more technical so that we'll know how we can use these functions at the granular level. So Victoria Okafor.
Okay. We can use a left function for it.
Okay. So
We
tell me
want
what to do.
we want to get the first name, so we'll say equal to left open bracket. Then you pick the cell A27. That's the cell you want to. Then comma. You now write find.
Did you go through the notes?
No, I just made practice on it, but I will explain why I use this thing. I'll explain it.
Okay.
You say find, then you put an open apostrophe, then you put a space in between. You close it, then you put a comma. You repeat that cell A27. You close the bracket, then you have a -1. Now, to explain this now, this find space here means the first thing I told them, I said here is left. Left means I want everything on this left, on that A27. Now I've gotten it. Find. I want this.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Call the function again. Am I missing something here from what you said?
Yes, you remove this comma. You remove the comma. You remove the close bracket after the open parenthesis.
Yeah.
When you write find apostrophe, the comma, remove the comma.
I should remove this comma here.
No, not the. Yes, remove the comma there. Then it's okay now.
It's not going to work.
No, did you put a minus sign before the one?
Look at the minus sign here now.
A27, find this, comma, this. Okay, sorry, you close the bracket after the one, sorry. A close bracket after -1.
Still not going to work.
So minus find. No. This bracket here. You've not removed the bracket
Let me fix it. Let me fix it for
before
you.
A27. That
Let me fix
bracket.
it for you. I applaud. This is how it should look like.
Yeah.
Right? You kind
Yes.
of mixed it. This is how it should look like. All right, explain it for the class. Let's see.
Okay. The
Yeah.
find. You're telling themselves to find the first space. So
So
when they
start from the
find it,
beginning.
okay,
Start from the
the
beginning.
first thing is left. So you want to start getting your string from the left. So from the left side is John that is starting. So it will get the left for you. Then the next thing is you tell it to find the first space within this John Michael Smith. Then when you find the first space, it will be on number 5. You count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The space is 5. So since the space is 5, you will say -1 because we need to remove that space. So when you remove 1, it will be 4. So you're now telling the distance to get you from the left. You want this whole string, comma 4. Then it will get the distance for. I don't know if I explained it. How do I understand it?
Okay. You tried. Right. So she got the function almost correct. She just needed some some work. So this is basically how it works, right? Remember the left, we are pointing or we're telling Excel to start cutting from the left, right? To start cutting from the left. Now, if I say cut from the left of the text, which is John Michael Smith, comma. So instead of putting the number of characters, because if I copy this out, let me copy this out, right? Control C. I'll break down this code. I'll paste it here. Control V. Right? What does this do? This looks for the first space in each of these names here. If I press enter, it's going to tell me the position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me drag it down. You can see that it's now dynamic. It's changing irrespective of where the space is. So for Robert here, Robert is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're getting 7, right? So that's basically what this thing does. So instead of we passing a number to tell it as a number of characters, because if I were to come here, and I go equal to left, I click on this text, comma, and I ask myself, what number of characters do I want to cut? And I click this number we've pulled out here and I press enter. It's going to give me a job. And I will drag it down. Right? We've gotten all of the names. The issue is, if I convert, let me copy, let me paste, let me change it. If I click inside of it, there's an extra space. It is catching an extra space with it. Can you see? It's catching an extra space with it. So that is where the -1 comes in. So we're telling, okay, fine. We want to start cutting from the first space, but move one space back. So instead of you cutting in addition with the space, because the 5 is going to be in this space here, if we say -1, it will jump back to n. It's now going to cut from n back to the beginning. If I press enter, it will reduce to 4. And I will drag this. You understand? That was how we were able to use left in conjunction with find to pull out the first name. Questions? Please, Miss Precious, please hold off on that note. That note, if I let me delete it, if they have access to that note, they will be able to solve the answer I want to give them. So if you're faster than me, good luck. But I'm pretty sure I will get there before anyone. I will have to delete. I'll have to delete something there. And now the internet decided to mess up. I want you guys to crack your head for this. Open now before people will go there. Go. Let me click on this. You see some. Okay, I will catch you. All of you that have had it, please. Did somebody move? Okay, the first assignment functions. All right, I'm going to delete. I think is this one here. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to delete it. Yes. If you caught it, lucky enough. If you didn't, well, it's quite unfortunate. Because you guys will pull out that middle name for me in conjunction with the other assignments I'm going to give you guys tomorrow. So Inspire, do you have a question?
Yes, sir, I have a question. Concerning the
Yes.
extraction of the first name from this full name, like I was thinking that
Yes.
okay, it's not possible for us to use just the left function without including the find function to it. Like, is it not possible that way to get this John exactly?
It's not possible. It's not possible because the way you will use it, you're putting a static number there. The number does not react to the spaces here are not the same. So how do you tell
Sorry,
it
sir,
to
I
cut?
can't hear you.
The space, the first space here are not the same. The first spaces here are not the same. So this one here, the first space is after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll be 8. This one is 5. This is 5. This is 7. This is 4, 5. This is 8. So if you're putting the function inside, how do you make the function, that left function, dynamic? Is to look for the position of the space by using the find, then telling it to cut from there to the left-hand side, or from the left-hand side to that place. Either way it works. So that's why we have to use this.
All right. Thank you, sir. I really understand it.
Yeah. Questions? Questions? Hi. Why? I actually messed up. Why did I put that answer there? I really wanted to give you guys this middle name to work on. The people that have caught it, that have copies, well, that's good luck to you because you're serious enough and you took that thing has been there for almost a week and you've gone there and you've gone through it. So good luck to you. The rest that are serious and I go yeah. Questions. So we've successfully pulled out the first name, right? I'm going to leave the middle name. That's your second assignment. Your first assignment is the difference between substitute and replace in details and give me real world examples where it can be used. Then the second assignment is to pull out the middle name from here. So I'm going to pull out the last name. I'm really happy somebody helped us out to get the first name. Can somebody help us out to get the last name? Inspire.
Okay, sir. We are going to use
Do you have
the
a copy?
right
Do you have a
function.
copy? Do you have a copy of the notes? Do you have a copy of the note that this answer is inside?
If I was like, yes,
Right?
I actually have the copy of the notes, sir.
You don't enter one. Now, when you give us the function, you will break it down what each function does and how it worked together to give us that last name. So tell me what to do.
Okay. We are going to use the right function.
Why are we using the right function?
Because we are actually extracting from the right hand side. You know, we are extracting the last name, not from the left
Okay.
left anymore. Okay. Okay, so after
Continue.
that,
What else do I do? Yeah.
so then we highlight the cell we are using. So
Uh-huh.
after we highlight that, then we are going to use the count the length of the characters we want to find. Are you getting it, sir?
Tell me what to write. Let me write it out. Then you're the teacher. In fact,
Okay.
are you on your computer right now?
Yes, sir.
Take over the presentation and teach us for the right before I'll
Ah,
add my inputs.
how will I do that, sir?
Just you will see this button here. Click on it. You will see
Which
present
one?
now. Present this button with the upward arrow.
Okay, sir.
Click on it.
I'm
Click
coming.
on present now. Click on present now. Click on present the entire screen. You take over and you're the teacher for today, for the remainder of today's class. We are waiting for you, teacher. No, it's good. I love an interactive class, right? I love an interactive class. She has a copy of it. That means she has gone through it before. Let's see how far she has understood it. Then I'll just stop. I'll add to it. So she can't. Why are you
Have you
delaying with the presentation?
sir, have you seen my screen? I've done it. Oh, it's showing one thing. Oh, have you been able to see
No,
my screen?
nobody's seeing your screen. All right. Call the read out the function for me. Equal to right.
Okay. Equal to right.
You guys from next class from on Sunday, I will be calling random people. You will share your screen. There's some questions I'll start asking that requires you to present and share your screen. So if you don't know how to present, go to YouTube. It should not take you less than more than 30 seconds. Please try to join the classes with your computers because it's going to be engaging and interactive. So equals to right, okay, text,
Yes.
comma. What do I do?
And I think you put the learn, I mean, yes, the learn function, but and highlighting the cell again.
Okay.
Okay. Then you put the find function. Close the bracket.
Okay. What
You,
next?
you're going, okay. Okay. Then you put the find function.
For the sake of time, I'm just write it out. Right? I'm just write it out. Minus find space comma here comma and wait. What's my starting position? I want to start finding from the first space comma in the cell plus one. I'll close it. I'll close it. I'm still missing one more. brackets. One more. We're having a value. We're having a value error here. Okay, this minus this this this. Okay, I think I know where the problem is. Just take one out. So I'll put it here, and I'll press this. Let me drag it down. Right? So you can see here we've successfully extracted the last names of everybody here. But let's talk about this code. Can anybody try to interpret it? Anyone? The floor is yours before I interpret it. Rachel, Philip. Okay, Philip.
Okay, I want to try.
Okay.
So we are trying to direct the function to take from the right side of the A27 cell.
Okay, that's what this does. Okay.
Yes.
So explain the next block of code. What does this do?
And the length is to calculate the length of the strings, like the number of characters in that string A27.
Okay, then what does this do?
I don't know why the minus is there before the find, but the find will help. The find is telling the Excel to like check for the first space. This first find is telling the Excel to check for the first space in A27, because the last name has, before you get to the last name, you will encounter two space. Then the first space will get it to the middle name, which is Michael. That is where we have the second find that will take it to the next space before Smith. Then the +1, I don't know why the +1 is there. That's the only place I understand it to.
All right, thank you very much. So text, yes, like somebody said in the comment there, text to column is big. I shouldn't have told you guys about text to column till we're done with this. Then I would have showed you an easier way of getting it done. But the reason why we are using this, you need to be able to start mixing the combinations of functions together with the ability to reason, your logical reasoning, right? That is where these come in. This is how we develop that mindset. And in interview questions as well. When you go for job interviews, they'll say, okay, fine, this is the first name, middle name, and last name. Please extract the first, middle, and last name using text functions. You not tell them, let's use text to column. They will just tell you, okay, we will give you a call back. And that will be the end of it. You're done. You understand? What are they doing? They're testing your logical reasoning. How can you think and how can you convert that thought into actual codes that will give you the desired results you're looking for, which is the problem solving ability. You have a problem, you've thought your head, you've come up with the solution for this puzzle you're trying to solve, and you're able to craft out a function to get it done. Now, just like everything, again, I'm going to break this down. I'm sorry I've taken extra 7 minutes. Please, I need an extra maybe 13 minutes, maybe 7:20, please. So I'm going to break this down into this, right? And this. So what does this one do? This returns the total length of the characters in a cell. So I'll go len. So it's giving us 18, right? It's giving us 18. Now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Now, I'll go equal to find. Say I'm breaking down this function. Find, we want to look for the space within the full name, right? Comma. But like I told you guys, there's also the start position. Where do you want us to start searching for the space, right? So instead of us giving it a number, we're going to say, okay, fine, find the first space. Find the first space here. Find the first space here, right? And then, so the function is going to be like this. It's going to be like this, right? Let me confirm. Yes, find, comma, find. Yes. So now we're telling it, okay, fine. Find the first space in the text, in this case, John Michael Smith. Now, our start position, we're not telling, okay, where do you want us to start from to start finding? So instead of, well, that's okay, fine, find the first space. So now it's not going to be here, right? Remember, Excel functions work inside out. So the inner function executes first, followed by the outer function. So this second function, that's okay, fine. I'm going to look for the first space. Bam. This is what this does. It's not going to be our starting position. So now say, okay, fine. So you now say, okay, find the space now from this our start position, which is this space. So the answer, it will now start counting and to give us here as our first position, to give us here, here, and here. Right? I'll press enter. That was how we were able to get 5. That's how we're able to get 5. Now, I'm going to drag it down. If I were to put somebody says she doesn't understand. Space. All right. Let me try to explain again. So, like I was saying here, find, right? Find space A27 basically looks for this, right? Basically looks for this. Basically looks for this. Are we together? Now, where do you want to start counting from? We want to start counting from, or the start position should be from the first space. So this is where the second find comes. It's going to make sense when I say, let me finish up. So we'll have this. What am I going to do here? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do equal to this minus this plus 1. 14. Let me drag it down. Okay. We'll have the len. We'll have the find. Control C. Let me just paste it here for Control V. Yes. Now, basically, the len is giving us the total numbers. This is telling us the position to start cutting from, right? It's giving us the position to start cutting from. And here is giving us the number of characters we should cut out from the right hand side. So what do I mean by if we say right? So if I come here and I go equal to right, what's going to be our text? Our text will be this, comma. What is the number of characters? Sorry, 14. Let me try 5. Right. A24, comma, we'll go 5. Okay. Okay, hold on. Me say I don't come confused. Oh. I'm coming.
Sir, is 827, not 24.
Okay. 827. Okay, thank you. I was shocked why that didn't work. But let's look at the function again. Right. So start cutting from the right. 827, which is where we want to cut from. So we'll say, okay, fine. The total length of this subtracts the first space, basically the second space, right? The position of the second space plus 1 from the total length of the character. Then return the answer as the number of characters we want to cut out. I think I did something wrong here. So let me look at this one more time. You have this plus 1, right? Have this plus 1. Have this plus 1. We have left is going to be this. It's going to be this minus. It's giving me okay. Let me drag this down. Still not giving me the answer to what I want. What am I missing here? I'm really sorry. We'll have this. We'll have this. It's going to be all of this subtracted by this, the total number. So this thing, this length equals to 827 is the total length, like I said. They were subtracting the letters from the second space, right? So basically, it's going to start counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's going to basically mean subtract the total, this number, subtract it from the total number, which that was 14. The total number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 minus 13 will give us 5. Right? 18 minus 13 will give us 5. Then it will now return that 5 to the right. Then the right will now cut out the first 5 letters on the right hand side. That was how we got Smith. The same thing is applicable here. To count, the len will count JANE space, that's 5. ARM is 8 space 9 DOE, that's 12, right? So 12. So 12 minus 12 here, correct? Minus, we're going to look for the last space. So basically to count this and this plus 1. So it's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 minus 13, that's going to be 3. It's going to return 3 to the right, and it's going to cut out the last 3 characters. So that is how the plus 1, because when we do this up until this point, is going to stop here at this space, right? So the plus 1 basically pushes the cursor from here to here. So we want to subtract everything from here down from the total length of this whole thing. I don't know if you guys understand. I know it's a little bit complex, and I think my calculations here is all messed up. Calculations here is all messed up. I don't know why this isn't giving me the outcome it is supposed to give. I don't know why this isn't giving me the outcome when I broke it out. The plus one minus 1 just basically moves the cursor from where it stopped after your function to where you want to be. From here, minus 1, when we perform this, find space in this A27 is going to be on this space. When we say minus 1, we're pushing it backwards by 1. It's not going to be on n. So that's okay, fine. It comes from n to the beginning. That is how the minus 1 works. The plus 1, how it works is basically everything I've explained up until this point. By the time you get here, your cursor is going to be on this second space. But we don't want to cut from this second space to subtract from the total. We want to start from here. So plus 1 basically moves it from where it was to one space in front of it. So that's where you can use plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5. It doesn't matter. You can just push your cursor to where you want to start working from using the plus or minus symbol. Do you guys have any questions? Is there any questions you guys have that I can treat now? Then maybe questions. If you have, you can ask, please. Doris.
All right, sir. I want to ask the assignment you gave to us. When are we submitting it?
Before the next class next week.
Next week, okay.
Yeah.
The same method we use in submitting the first assignment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Sorry, yes.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Please, the first assignment, I did it. But because I was a bit occupied with work, I couldn't figure out how to, what called, prepare the drive and all of that to be able to send it. So I don't know how you can help us go through that again so that I can send the both of them together.
Okay, I'll search. The second assignment will be dropped tomorrow morning. Don't worry. So I've searched. I'll get a YouTube video. I'll get the YouTube video for you on how to set up your drive.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for you guys for that. Any other questions as regards to what we've covered today? Because we've covered a lot. This function here. I don't know. Maybe when I'm in a better state of mind on Saturday, maybe I'll revisit this very well so that you guys understand. But I feel like I've explained it enough, but I'm not satisfied with how I explained it. So if you have questions regarding today's class, please. This is it. From everything we've covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 here. We've made use of 12, 13, we've used 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 functions today. Surely you guys have questions. What are the questions, please? You guys should ask. No questions? Okay. So please, I'm not trying to scare you guys, but please prepare your mind. You can see how we just jumped when it comes to the complexity. It's not going to be easier than this going forward. It's going to be complex. By the end of the day, I know you guys will grow into it. All right, go through it. If you have questions, let me know. Also, get your hands dirty on how to get the middle name done. Then when we meet on Friday, I'll start off with that middle name. Then we'll go into logical statements. Right? Rachel, Philip, questions?
So will this Excel sheet be added to the drive?
Is there already now? Sample data.
Alright.
Yeah, it's there already. It's there already. So please, you guys should go through it.
It's Friday already.
Sorry?
Today is Friday already.
Yes, our next class is on Sunday, then next week, Wednesday.
Friday.
Yeah. Yes. So please, you guys should go through this video. It's over 2 hours. We've covered a lot. Right? Go through and try to understand everything we've covered here. You understand? Let's try and go through every single thing we've covered and make sure you understand how it works. The assignments will be, yes, tomorrow you will get it. I will let you know when it's available in the group. You guys will just take a crack at it and try to answer it with the best of your abilities. It's going to be a fun. In fact, let me show you guys a snippet of what the assignment is going to look like. So this is the assignments. You have assignment on aggregate functions. You have assignment on text functions. You have assignment on date functions. Right? These are the 3 assignments you're going to get. It looks simple. It's just 3 questions, but this is the assignment. You guys will get it in the morning. So, Precious Paul, questions?
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes.
You said something about interacting class from Sunday. Some of us don't have laptop. Like me now, my system is bad. I've not worked on it, so I don't know. Is it going to? How are we now going to join the interacting class, or I don't know?
When I mean interactive class, I basically just mean I will be calling on random people to answer questions using their computers rather than just saying it out. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I call you and you don't have, then we'll move on to the next available person.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. And the last question all the hands are down. So thank you guys very much for today. I know I've been eating into your time. I think I've done this twice in a row now. But I just really needed to finish this today so that we can move. I've picked up the pace. If you guys have noticed, I've picked up the pace. Why? Because I would love to work with you guys on a simple project, right? Probably, I don't know, it might be the data. I might collect some data from you guys. I'm going to use your data in here at TEFEM. We'll create an analysis based on it. I don't know yet. We're still planning it behind the scenes. That's why I'm picking up the pace, and also depending on how it goes, I might need an extra 1 or 2 classes from you guys to work on the project together, so that you guys will have a better feel from this beginning of the data analysis lifecycle to the end. Is that okay? So thank you very much for today, and have a wonderful weekend. I will use this medium to